new top of the line limited 1500. Brought this thing to the racetrack with 540 horsepower twin turbo inline 6. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's give it a crack. Drag race. Overhead cams versus push rods. I'm not going to say it, but you know where I'm going, right? So here's the thing, I'm a Ram guy. Everybody knows that I'm a Ram guy. And one of the things that made me the Ram guy was that HEMI engine. The 1500 with the 5.7 HEMI or the 6.2 Supercharged in the TRX was an absolute match made in heaven. And I think when you're onto something that works, you stick to it. Now Ram made a very, very bold decision earlier this year that they were going to kill the HEMI in the Ram platform. And to be honest with you, I felt a little bit heartbroken. It was kind of like your missus leaving you, right? So they've introduced this new inline twin turbo 6-cylinder engine that makes some stupid horsepower, and I kind of boycotted it. Now the team at Ram Australia have been asking me to drive this new, and I'll kind of be honest with you, I didn't want to do it because I felt like I was cheating on the TRX. Now, they just made another announcement just last week. Ram have announced that the HEMI is coming back. So I thought, you know what? Now that the HEMI's coming back and I don't feel like I'm cheating on the TRX anymore, I want to give this thing a go. So today I'm going to run you through the new top of the line limited 1500 with a 540 horsepower twin turbo inline 6 with an A-locker. So like anything that you've seen on Patriot games before, we've always been off-road, but today we brought this thing to the racetrack to find out exactly what this car's all about. So far, what a day, what an amazing day. The weather's not really playing the game with us today. It's on, it's off. So kind of in between sessions, let me give you a bit of a walk through the exterior of the Ram. Now, obviously, this is the 1500 Limited. One of the things I really like about the Limited is it comes with all the black accents, so it gets rid of the chrome. Now, in the US, the chrome seems to be a thing. I know here in Australia, most of our customers have always done the chrome delete, so Ram's already done that for you, but I'll run you through it when we get around the back. First thing to talk about, towing capacity. Now, the Limited has come down in towing capacity a little bit. If you buy this thing in its sports edition, and that's something I haven't actually spoken about. So you can buy the sports edition with the Hurricane motor, which is lower output. So with the sports edition, you get 420 horsepower. With the high output in the Limited, you get 540 horsepower out of the same engine, different tune. This one that you see behind me has a 780 kilo payload, 4.2 ton brake towed. The Sports Edition, you get 860 kilos of payload, so about another 100 odd kilos, but you get the full 4.5 tons of towing capacity. So that's maybe something to consider if you're looking at towing with your Ram 1500. Now it's still quintessentially Ram, this thing. It comes with what you'd expect. It comes with brake controller as standard. Like I've just spoken about the towing capacity. This particular model here, you have a powered down and a powered up tailgate, which is nice. Ram boxes are a standard feature on the way that the Limited is delivered. The Ram box, again, it's just one of those additions. If you never had it, you probably wouldn't care about it once you've had it. It's very hard to go back to a ute without it. In all of my trucks now, I keep the standard beds on. I've got a Go Block, Red Up Go Block mounted in the front of my 2500. I have a toolkit, I keep first aid, all of my recovery gear. But even if you're a tradie, a lot of my mates, tradie mates, it's on the central locking. You can keep everything set up how you like. Now with the Limited, you get a 22-inch rim and a very low profile, like a 45 series tyre. Which once again, you got to consider for this thing here. I think if you go and buy the Limited Edition as a touring vehicle, i.e. planning a big build, I think there's better models in the lineup, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm really happy with the Bighorn, the blue Bighorn that we just built. The money that you save on that initial purchase cost, you can do into accessories, but if you've got the budget for it, this is obviously a beautiful place to start. So you've got 3 different standard ride heights that you can set. You can go aero, normal driving, and then high clearance. I couldn't tell you exactly in inches how high it gets, but we'll demo that in just a second. Power folding side steps, I think you'd expect that these days. Again, you can see all the black accents. Proximity key on this thing. Once again, a normal proximity key, you'll get up to the car. If you've got the key in your pocket, you can unlock it. This one has actually got like a range ring around it. The first night that I had the car, I kept walking past it in my driveway and the lights kept going on. So I'd be like, why are the lights on? And then I'd go down the back, I'd do something, come back up, the lights were off. Took me a minute to actually pick up. The proximity key, once you come into the proximity of the car, it'll turn all of the scene lights on for you. It projects a big Ram logo onto the ground, which is pretty cool, but very, very handy when it's dark or you're in a shopping centre. It turns on the headlights on dim and the tail lights on dim as well, I noticed. So it kind of lights the floor, the scene of the floor, as soon as you walk up to the car. Really, really nice feature. Coming around the front, you'll notice that the black mirrors will jump underneath here in a sec, and I'll show you that, that big powerhouse underneath. But the Ram grille, the new updated facelift grille, all blacked out, and it's just a really good looking thing. The color, the silver, again, this is a demo. I've only got this car for a couple of weeks, and I think that's probably the color if I was going to order a Limited. That'd be the color that I'd order it in. Once again, I can't stress enough, I wouldn't touch this thing. If I was to buy a Limited, or if I was looking to buy a daily driver, my lifestyle, I can't be without a ute. I can't drive a normal car. I always have something in the back of the ute, whether it's gear for the boat, dirt bikes for the kids, I'm picking up something for Patriot campers or dropping something off. I'd leave it exactly the way it is, and I'd just drive this thing and enjoy it. I think it is the best, not I think, this is the best daily driver Ram that I've had so far. Now the performance of this thing is just absolutely outstanding. I did not expect it. It's grown on me over the couple of days that I've had the car. When I first got it, driving around in normal mode, the power delivery on the thing is so linear. Like, you do not feel like this thing has turbos at all, because as soon as you put your foot down, it just instantly delivers. It delivers torque straight away like you wouldn't expect. Now, as you get used to it a little bit more and start putting it into sports mode, the car just starts responding, and it's such a big car, it's a big truck. But the reason that I brought it to the racetrack today is, I mean, as you can see, it's quite wet today, a little bit of understeer there, obviously. It's quite wet today, but it's just no body roll. Now, you've got airbag suspension, so you can actually set the suspension up in 3 different modes. I'm in the aero mode at the moment, but you can lift it up to give yourself some ground clearance as well if you want to take the car off-road. So if you want to do some light kind of off-roading in it, you can definitely do it. I mean, but you can see here with the e-locker in and the traction control off, it's very compliant. Like, it doesn't want to throw the back end around like I would have expected, and especially with that kind of power delivery that the car has. You'd think turbo vehicle, you know, in the wet, big truck, coming on the boost, going around these corners, throwing it in, that it'd want to just slide the arse out, but it doesn't. Obviously, if I want it to, if I want to have a little bit of fun with it, then obviously I still can. Now, the traction control in this thing, even though the traction control's off, it's like most modern vehicles, it doesn't completely turn itself off. And I think that's the thing that's given me the most control with the car. But the performance of it, for such a big truck, I'm just absolutely blown away. Oh, a little bit hot there, a little bit deep. I'm on a quite a tight track here as well. Now the E-locker in a Ram obviously is for traction when you're off-road, but when it comes to the racetrack, it allows you to lock the diff up and drive the thing quite a little bit harder without it trying to spin the inside wheel or do anything stupid. But here's the thing, there's only so much that I can actually tell you about how the car performs. Now the comparison of this video should really be with the 5.7 Hemi, right? After driving the car, I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to put the new Hurricane engine up against the 5.7 Hemi, the standard 5.7 Hemi, because it delivers that much more power. Standard 5.7 delivers 395 horsepower. This thing here is 540 horsepower.
Hey Dad, what's up?
Hey little girl, what are you doing? You got a Hemi, baby?
Love it. Getting some speed.
And I think everybody's pretty impressed with what you did on the Tasmania series. Well, I think maybe we should show everyone what you can do on a racetrack.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Can you keep up?
Reckon. Let's see.
All right, darling, give it a crack. See if you can keep up with me. So we're going to get me used to the track a little bit. It's the first time out here on the Norwell racetrack. I do a little bit of behind the scenes. Normally before Fink, I'll come out here and I'll run some laps on one of the 86s. So I know the track pretty well, but let's see if we can kind of just bring her up to speed and see if she can. Let's see if she can stay on my bumper. So far, she's doing really well. Off the brakes, let it roll, let it roll. Now throttle, 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 throttle. Good girl, well done. There you go, a little bit of a slide, good girl.
This is actually fun.
No brakes here, just roll the throttle off. Watch me.
And then back on when you come around when it straightens up.
What'd you think?
Fun.
You're not even over the bonnet. Boy, you are doing really, really good.
Thanks.
That's her first time on a racetrack ever. Mm-hmm. Were you using your paddles?
No.
Were you just in drive?
Yeah.
What do you think of the track?
Oh, I love it. It's actually fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think you could do a little bit more of this?
Yeah, I reckon.
Well, I saw a pretty big change in about 10 laps there, eh? Yeah? So, the new Hurricane engine, I think you've seen so far, it is nothing short of impressive. Now, like I said, I think it was only fair that A, we bought a TRX to compare it to, and B, we bought somebody who's never been on a racetrack before, and it's technically on her piece, but you don't need your P plates on here. But I think to get a real sense of what the difference is between the two cars, I reckon we should do a drag race.
Okay.
You ever done a drag race before?
No.
Is this your first time drag racing?
Yep.
So what we'll do is we'll keep it very even so there's no driver influence here. Launch control in both of the vehicles is available, but I don't know if it's going to be really fair if you haven't drag raced and used launch control before. So what we'll do is we'll do it rolling. So we'll roll off about 10 kilometers an hour, and I'll count it down. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. Leave it in drive. I'll obviously leave it in drive. The downside of this thing here, one of the things I don't like, it has no ability to shift. It has a gear hold mode, which is on the steering wheel, but when you're going around a racetrack, you can't get to it, versus the paddles. So we'll keep them both in drive, and we'll roll together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll from this orange cone right here,
Okay.
and we're gonna roll to that blue cone out there. I'll stay on the outside, and we'll see which one's faster.
Sweet.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's give it a crack. Drag race. Now this is going to be kind of interesting because here's the stats, right? Here's the figures from the factory. TRX 0 to 100, 3.7 seconds. The new Hurricane engine in the 1500, it's claimed 4.2 seconds, and a 5.7 HEMI 1500, 6.6 seconds. Now that is a big difference between the 1500 HEMI versus the Hurricane, but not that big a difference between the TRX and this thing. So I'm really interested to see how this goes. I'm gonna count it down. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. I just spun. I just turned the tyres. That's a big difference out of the hole with the TRX though.
Yeah.
I reckon, yeah, I just spun the tyres straight. It's still, the track's still too wet and you got the four-wheel drive advantage. So I think what we'll do, we'll go back around it and we'll try it from a little bit higher speed so the traction doesn't come into it.
Yeah, okay, cool, copy.
Okay, so this time I'm in four-wheel drive auto. I've got the axle lock on and I'm in sports mode. So you come up beside me.
Okay.
All right, ready? No, hang on. Whoa, don't get too excited. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go, look at the traction. Still quicker, but that is friggin' impressive. So the TRX definitely got it, as we thought it would, but this is what I've been saying. It's just not that much different to a TRX once you get used to the power delivery. You know, in the TRX, you get this big, you got that engine roar, the supercharged whine, the big roar, it's just badass when you're driving it, and it feels fast because it is fast. The Hurricane doesn't feel as fast as it is. It takes you a little bit to get used to the power delivery in this thing. And because it's so quiet, and because those turbos, the way they produce boost, like I said, is so linear, you don't realise that you're going as quick as you are. But I'm telling you now, that is a friggin' impressive engine. I think if it came to the choice between the Hurricane and the 5.7 overhead cams versus push rods, I'm not going to say it, but you know where I'm going, right? Okay, darling, so come over here. I want to get out of this wet bit here. We're going to go from a standing start, but you're not allowed to use your launch controller, right?
That's all right. I don't even know how to.
Good girl. Okay, so just here, so I'm in the dry bit. Now,
Left foot on the brake. Get your left foot on the brake. Stall your engine up a little bit. Or bring your revs
revs up so the car feels like it wants to go. Try that.
Hold the brake harder. Brake a little bit harder. A little bit less throttle. Okay, now I want to go. When I go 3, 2, 1, go. But don't let off until I say go. Alright?
Wait, so I let off the brakes and on the accelerator when you say go.
100% right. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Dude, look at that. There you go. This thing's fast, man. So that's off a standing start. That's a little bit fairer. So off the rollers, you can see, even though you can't feel it, right? You can't feel the boost. There's definitely lag there because the supercharger will create boost instantly. It's going to create boost from 0 RPM, right? As soon as that engine starts running, and that's the advantage of a supercharger compared to the turbos. But you see, when I get the opportunity to stall it up and bring the thing up on the converter and get some boost into the engine, that's where the difference is. Like I said, 3.70 to 100 in the TRX, 4.2 in the Hurricane. It's not a big difference, but you can definitely see it there. This thing is impressive, huh?
That was fun. I like that one.
You got me again. I reckon in launch control you would have got me a little bit harder, but you didn't get me by much off the stand and start.
No, I definitely didn't. I was watching you in my mirror.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I actually haven't popped the bonnet yet. I haven't even had a look at it. It's going to be weird lifting up the bonnet of a 1500 and not seeing a HEMI. Yeah, that's what I thought. It just looks like a 6-cylinder. Quite a small little package. The motor does sit a fair bit further. Oh no, it doesn't. That's just the engine cover. So the actual rocker cover is very close to the back of the firewall, which is about where the HEMI sits. You can see both of the turbos in there. So like I keep saying, 540 horsepower and 520 foot-pounds of torque. Off the top of my head, I think the TRX was somewhere around the 650. I'm not really noticing that big torque difference between the two, if I was to be perfectly honest, but you can feel that power difference. Now, I also read somewhere that out of the factory, I think it's 11.9 litres per 100 kilometres, which again, for a pickup truck is very, very, very impressive. That linear power delivery that I keep harping on about, it does not feel like a turbo motor. It just really doesn't. Where I noticed that it was a turbo motor was where the TRX got that big jump off that low speed kind of roller. But once I got up on the brake and brought the boost up a little bit off the line, really impressed by how little difference there actually was there with the TRX. Doesn't mean that there's no place for the TRX. Once again, like that sound of the supercharger, that HEMI is just, it's an experience to drive that. You know, it is a real kind of driver's car. Whereas this thing is much more sedate. Probably I'd even go as far as saying it's a lot more Euro kind of feel. It doesn't feel like you're driving an American car with the way it delivers power. It feels like a European car. You know, you get that little fuel cut sound in between gear shifts, and when you're driving, you get that little, and just very sedate, you know, not a big wanky thing. It doesn't backfire and spit and carry on like some of the high performance Euro cars done, but it can give you that little bit of driver experience. And actually the team here has said it today quite a few times. I can't hear it inside the car when I'm driving it because it is so quiet, but everyone was like, dude, that thing sounds awesome when it's under power. So yeah, maybe a little bit converted now. I didn't want to like it. I really didn't want to like it because I didn't want to be one of those guys. I wanted to be one of those guys that if it's a Ram, it's got to have a HEMI. But that motor is super impressive. Let's talk about the interior in the Limited. The interior in the Limited is, look, I know this video is going to be mainly about the engine because that's just the way I am inclined, but I think the biggest selling point of the Limited has got to be the interior. The luxury in the interior is like nothing else I've seen in any other pickup. There isn't a pickup that I've owned that has an interior like this. You know, all of the pitching, the different textiles, the wood grain's very, very subtle. There's leather everywhere. The stereo system in this thing, Harman Kardon, I think it's like 900 watts or something like that. It just absolutely friggin' pumps. It's very quiet, it's very mature, and it's just a beautiful place to be. So again, getting back to that kind of daily driver thing, you know, something that you get into every day, you want to be comfortable, you want to enjoy it, right? That's the biggest thing that I say about buying a new car, you know. And we failed on buying new cars in the past where after a couple of weeks, it kind of just, the novelty starts wearing off. But with this thing, so far, I'm about a week into it and I'm just finding new things every time that I drive it. So I'll run you through some of the biggest differences between some of the other videos you might have seen or my experiences with Ram. Fully electronic dash. So the entire dash is electronic. So you can get up anything that you want on here. The navigation being right on the dash is really, really nice. again, some things that you would expect. You've got adaptive cruise control. You've got collision control on this thing, but there's a couple of different modes on collision control. The team was telling me down there, it's got an intersection detection control, and it's also got drowsy driver sensor in here as well, which once again, I haven't been there because I don't drive when I'm tired. Sometimes I do, but I haven't been in that situation with the car just yet. The steering wheel's infinitely adjustable. The pedal box is adjustable, again, like Rams I've had before in the past. Your modes, if we talk about the modes, you've got engine cutoff. I don't like engine cutoff. I don't like it when the engine goes off. I always roll with that off. But the axle lock that I've been talking to you guys about, this is your axle lock button down here, which is predominantly for four-wheel driving. And then your driver modes are selected from right here. So you've got snow, tow, automatic mode, off-road mode, and then the sports mode that we've been driving around in today. Your airbag control buttons are just here, so you can see they're adaptive as well. So the car will obviously sense when it wants different heights. So we're in normal ride height at the moment, but aero mode will drop it right down, really good for fuel consumption, and then you can go into off-road. Another big one that I noticed straight away as soon as I got in this, this is the biggest screen I've ever seen. I'm not sure exactly what the screen size is, but this is much bigger than I have in any of my other Rams. So they've gone with the biggest screen. I'm not sure if that's just for the Limited or whether that's a new Ram update. One thing I love is the volume dial is a dial, and then you've got some little scroll modes over here as well. But everything that you'd expect, you've got CarPlay, the Siri function on the Uconnect is by far the best system I've ever used. They never get it wrong. They understand my accent or everybody else's accent. If I go call Sarah, it calls Sarah. It doesn't call, Paul. You know what I mean? So it's a really, really good bit of kit. And then you've got everything electronic. So all of your comfort modes, seats are ventilated and heated as you'd expect. Steering wheel can be heated, and you've also got massages in the seats as well, which is absolutely amazing. Brake controller keeps it around when the brake controller is standard, but moving over to that side over there is the passenger now has a media screen. They've come up with this new thing. I've never seen it before. Maybe other cars have it. I had Sarah in the car on the weekend. She was dead set. She was watching a movie on that side, and the driver can't see it, so you can't get distracted. The other thing that you can do from over there is your navigator can say, load up a map in navigation and then send it across to the main screen. They can control the audio, they can watch movies, they can control all of their climate from that side. It's just a really, really cool bit of gear. Panoramic sunroof, this was the same as Sarah's old Laramie in size. The thing is friggin' massive. You get the whole glass back, and then you can open the rear window as well, like you can in a Ram. So, when you're cruising around with your dog in the back, you can stick his little head in and say good day. But while on the highway, I generally run with that window just cracked a little bit, and it doesn't give you much road noise and just gives you fresh air. Center console, so you're back to the 5-seater kind of arrangement. You don't get the bench seat in the 1500 on the Limited. The bench seat only comes in the 2500. And the Bighorn actually has the bench seat locked in Australia because of that load capacity. Wireless charging, USB-Cs, all of the things that you would expect from a very, very high-end interior. And it's just an absolutely beautiful place to be. The back seat, you've heard me say it in 1,000 different videos. If you're going a touring around the country, if you're going to go 3, 4 or 5 up, i.e. you've got kids in the back, you've got to get yourself into a Ram, because I think putting the kids in the back of a dual cab ute or a Japanese style wagon for, a big lap for 12 months, 3 of them across the back seat, you are asking for trouble. And this thing back here, you've got everything that you need, plenty of room. It's like getting into a limousine in the back. So that's probably the biggest selling point of the Limited. And one thing I didn't mention on the interior, actually, this thing's got a 125 litre fuel tank. So if you go to the Limited, 125 litres of fuel gives you longer range. That's a really big fuel capacity for any brand new car off the market. And if you go with the standard, you get about 95 litres, somewhere around there in the sports model. Okay, Mimi, are you ready?
Ready. Okay, so as soon as I leave the line,
Start the clock, and then pick a marker, like look at a cone. As soon as I pass that cone, you hit the stopwatch.
and you can come back to me with what the time is, all right? Okay.
Okay, copy.
All right, here I go. All right, here we go. Off launch. I'm in 4-wheel drive auto, and here we go. Let's see what we can do between the two of them. Alright, so I want to give this everything that I've got. A bit early on the brakes there. The track's starting to dry up a little bit too, which is going to make it a little bit different for me. Something doesn't like that. See if I can get my apexes right. So all the races that race around Norworld, I've got to keep in mind I've been here for a long time and I am in a Ram. Ooh, traction control, that was no good. Okay, braking points. There we go. The brakes in this thing for such a big truck are actually quite impressive.
He's at 45 seconds and he's pretty far through the truck. We're at a minute. We've just hit a minute and he's about to finish.
Didn't get that quite right. Let's see if I can. I've just gone back to trophy truck style and left foot braking, which is not ideal. So we can get through here. Understeering like crazy. A lot of understeer. Alright, that's about as good as I can get out of that one. Alright, girlie, give it to me. What was the time?
You got a minute 15.
A minute 15?
Yep.
No, I don't know if that's good or bad.
We'll find out when we talk to the boys from Norworld when we get back. But that's the standing start time. So I'm going to grab the TRX now and let's see what that can do.
Yeah, okay, sweet. Let's see.
Oh, it's good to be back. I should never have sold my TRX, but I've got a surprise coming for everybody very soon. So even when you fire the thing up, you hear the rumble of that HEMI. So minute 15 in the Hurricane. I actually just spoke to the boys here and they said that that's pretty good from a standing start. They get some guys that come out here on the weekends with old V8 supercars that don't do that. I don't know whether I believe that. They might be talking me up a little bit. But they said the 115 was actually really good. So we're going to go Baja mode on this one. We're going to go launch control. We're going to give it everything that it's got so it's unbiased and we'll get a very accurate time between the two. But damn, it's good to be back in the tower. Back into first. Launch control on. Okay, full throttle, here we go, and we're off. Oh, there's that for a launch. I think I just bought myself an extra second there. All right, I want to be quiet on this one, I've got to concentrate. Come on, girl, come around, come around. Better. There we go. Brakes a little bit more to try and get it to turn in. I've got to keep that front down around the corners. Right, going back to trophy truck style. Need that left foot brake just to keep the nose down. So you can see she's turning in, but you can hear those tyres not screeching as much.
Same pace.
Come on, girl. Oh, she's slippery. All right. That was better. All right, Darren, what do we got?
1:15, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same milliseconds as the other one.
No way, 1:15 on both.
Yep.
Crazy. Well, I think that kind of proves a point right there, eh? This is the off-road Baja Edition TRX. Mud terrain tyres, higher in the suspension, not as stiff. The big V8 Supercharged HEMI, four-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive, 22-inch tyres, lower to the ground, makes all the difference. So once again, think that might have just answered the question. If you're looking for a daily driver Ram, you're not interested in going off-road, you tow a caravan mainly on the blacktop, and you're not looking to do all the hardcore off-road stuff that you see on Patriot games, you want a daily driver, a nice weekend you can go out to dinner with, something that the missus and the family are going to be comfortable with. You know, I see more people cruising around in overbuilt trucks that will never ever get used. I don't think you can go past the Limited. I think it's just something that you have to go and drive. The price point that it's at, and if you consider that price point to any other luxury family sedan, or not even another pickup, I haven't seen a pickup with the luxury that has, I suggest you get into the Ram dealer and go and check it out. Ready? You have a fun day?
I did.
Do you reckon you could be a race car driver?
I reckon.
All right, so chuck it in the comments. If you want to see more of Mia on track, I want to see more of Mia on track. Put in the comments, how did she do today? First time driving TRX, first time on a racetrack, trying to chase your dad, and for a little bit there, I couldn't get away from you. And that was after like 15 laps. Yeah, you done good, girl.